Hey, we're looking forward to see you on the Lord's Day, Lord willing. We got a few suggestions. The elders have got some suggestions for all of us that would be good, we think, to help keep us safe and maybe keep anybody from getting sick. First of all, you're going to notice here, Brother Jerry Cooper has already placed some tape where we've got taped off every other pew. And that'll be trying to work with the social distancing.
These pews are not fragile, but you should not sit in them.
Right, the ones that's taped off. That way we can try to keep a little separation. It's been suggested, and we think it would be good if the families that ordinarily sit together, you and your family, you just sit together with your family. Now, if there's going to be more than one family on a pew, it's been suggested too that the families separate and sit on the ends and not in the middle. You know, you can work that out. But that might protect you more to do that.
Give them a demonstration, Philip.
Well, say if you're going to sit, you got your families, because our families are different sizes. Say if it's just two in a family, well, two might sit right here on the end. And then maybe there's two or maybe one or something like that, sit on the other end. That's what has been suggested, and that would probably be safer. Just keep us from being so close together.
So you would say, sit like this and not like this.
For the most part. For the most part.
For the most part. Okay.
Now, if you find yourself just the only one on the pew, I guess you can sit anywhere you want to on the pew, I guess. Be all right.
Never like this.
We don't want anybody going to sleep in here. Okay, now that will take care of the pews. Let me get the easy stuff first too now. I'm going to jump right to the end of the service. At the end of the service, it would be suggested, hopefully we're going to want to speak to each other and see each other, that we go on outside in the parking lot and speak to each other out there in the fresh air. We will have a mask. There will be some mask here Sunday morning, and you're encouraged that when you first come in, to probably wear a mask. If that is up to you, but try to be considerate of other people. And if there's some that just do not want to, let's all be respectful of other people's feelings. We don't know who's going to come, who's not going to come, but it is possible, of course, that we're going to have some here that are older, and as we generally do, and they might be more susceptible to something, and so let's just be mindful of each other's feelings about that. And let me stop and say this here. If you have, we want everybody to come back to church, you know that, and as soon as we can possibly, but safely. We don't want to endanger any of our members' lives. I've been praying all along for this, and I hope you have too, that we wouldn't lose anybody. And we have not lost anybody from the active members of the congregation. We've lost two of our ladies that are in the nursing home. Sister Faye Fears did die of the coronavirus, but most of you know that Sister Faye's mind had already failed her. Barbara Littlejohn died, but she did not die of that. And both of them, Faye was 89 and Barbara I think was 87. And nobody in the congregation who's been active as far as being able to come has had that problem. But if you think you've been recently exposed, or you might have it, or you have any type of symptom, we would appreciate you stay home. We've always tried to encourage people during the flu season. Over 50,000 died from the flu this year. If you had fever or something like that, it's always the best thing to stay home probably for yourself and not to make somebody else sick. There's all kind of things all the time. So we want everybody to get back to church as soon as they can, but we want to come back well. And in this case, if you think there's any problem about this, just stay home and quarantine yourself like we've been asked to do till you think that's passed. Now, with that being said, these are hopefully sweet suggestions. Not trying to be unkind to anybody, but something that will help all of us. I hope we all would be agreeable about this. Now, the Lord's Supper. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So just tell them we'll have a demonstration for the Lord's Supper.
We're going to have a little demonstration for the Lord's Supper, and while Abel is getting that ready, it will be at each one of the entrances. And I will say this while he's getting ready to do this. You will be the only one to pick up your communion. We're going to be using I'm going to go ahead and pick mine up and put mine at my seat. We're going to be using these little communion, you call this a disposable communion. This is what we're going to be using. They'll be on the table. They'll be placed on the table by different ones with gloves on. So you'll be the only one to touch your stuff. And you pick it up. That should be plenty safe for everyone. And they'll be on these tables. Like I say, I'm going to put mine right over here where I'm going to be sitting in my place in just a minute. I'll put it in my pocket right now since I've already picked it up. We will have at the entrances, we'll come back to that, we have got Sister Teresa Vaughn's already fixed up for us hand sanitizers at the entrances. And we're going to basically just stay here in the auditorium, not be going back in the classroom area, none of that. We're going to start at 9:30, remember, and we're going to have a little Sunday school, but everything's going to be done right in here for all the ages, right here. Now, we encourage, of course, washing hands and do the best you can. I'm not sure how this is all going to work about the mask and the singing, but we'll do the best we can with that and do what you think is the best for you. Now, the Lord's Supper. Abel?
Remember, you're going to have the Lord's Supper on tables like this, spread apart, where only you will pick up your individual Lord's Supper cup. I want to tell you just a little bit more about the Lord's Supper cups. You'll notice that right in the top of them, if you haven't been using these in the weeks leading up to this is information you need to know. Your wafer or your cracker is right here at the top. You peel off this little piece of plastic and it'll be there in the top. And then of course you'll peel the rest of the part to get to the fruit of the vine underneath. So make sure that you do, that you have familiarized yourself with the system. We don't want any surprises to happen during this first time back together. Remember, you will retrieve your cup and your cup only. Only you will be touching your stuff. Of course, I understand you might want to get one for a spouse or something like that, and that's fine. But only you will be touching your things. Remember, you will do it like this, not like this. Along with picking up your communion, you will have the opportunity to pick up a bulletin as you come in. We wanted to make sure and remind you of that. Also, at the same table that you picked up your communion on the way in, we'll be dropping our contribution on the way out. And of course, that will be collected after everyone has departed, and we will we'll do what is necessary with that afterward. But you will not drop off your contribution until after services at the same place where you pick up your communion. Guys, we're so excited about getting to come back. We're so excited about getting to see you. Philip, come on over here if you want to say a couple of things as well. We just cannot wait to get to be together in some capacity. It's been a long several weeks where we haven't gotten to see each other in person, and just being together is going to give me a huge shot in the arm. Philip, what would you say to him?
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. No Sunday night service at the building, and no Wednesday night service at the building. That'll still be streamed. But anyway, we're looking forward to see you. Is there anything else we need to say about it?
I don't think so.
If you have any question, you call one of the elders, and they'll be glad to talk with you. They're trying really hard to make things as safe as they can for everyone, and we hope that that'll work out in a great way. And we'll all be very mindful of each other's feelings, and that'd be great.
All right. Guys, we can't wait to see you. We hope you're doing well, and we hope you have a great weekend. See you Sunday.